Good evening. Welcome to another Sports Rep edition. This is the show where we bring you all the events that happened over the weekend and what we can expect. My name is Jesse Jackson Kauraisa, and I'm joined here by Limba Mupetami. Well, it has not been such a great weekend. We know that the world is under fire from the coronavirus that's doing its rounds around the world, and actually we have already 2 confirmed cases of the virus here in Windhoek. Sad indeed. Well, Limba, please just take us through what happened or what transpired of those events that could actually take place despite the coronavirus.
Well, thank you so much, Jesse. Let's just have a look quickly at the highlights that took place during the weekend, of course. Well, those are just some of the weekend results. If you want to have a look at that in detail, you can always just check it in the Namibian Sun Sport Rap, as well as the Republican and the AZ as well. Back to you, Jesse.
Yes, thank you, Limba, for that. Well, here in Windhoek, we had the Walvis Bay Rally. So local favorite Alan Martin with his navigator Maritha Oliver won the adrenaline-filled 2020 edition of the Shell V Power Rally, which took place on Saturday. We can also speak about the Gravity Cup, which concluded in Windhoek with several athletes from schools participating in this event. It was 7s rugby, fast 5 netball, and 6-a-side soccer. It was indeed a great weekend for the Gravity Cup there.
Behind the zero now! Behind the zero now! Flowers the defensive man! Flowers the defensive man! Behind so yes we know! Behind so yes we know! I can't think of blow! I can't think of blow! The other spot is open now! The other spot is open now! Behind those run to coach! Behind those run to coach! Behind so yes we know! Behind so yes we know! Behind! Hooah! Behind! Hooah! Behind! Hooah!
It's been a fun couple of weeks, and the Nama Poultry Gravity Cup has concluded today right here at the Affis Park Stadium. You heard it first on the MyZone platforms. So I'm joined by the organizer, the main organizer, as well as the main sponsor. So just tell me, lastly, did this event live up to the expectations that you've had for it, and how does it feel to be associated with a program that brings that brings so much joy into this young people for doing what they love the most, which is sports?
Well, Nama Poultry Industries is always proud to support Namibian initiatives. It's a 100% Namibian company, and we believe in the future of Namibia. The players who played here today played exceptional games, and it's beautiful to see the organization and also just the winners as well. So we're proud to be associated with it, and we will continue to support Namibian initiatives onwards into the future.
Most definitely. And I would ask where these athletes get all the energy from, but I know it's Top Score. So your sponsors are spot on because you covered every single aspect. But lastly, what words of encouragement do you have for the athletes that left their heart and soul on this field today going forward?
Wow, that's a hard one to pull back. Let me tell you this way to you. We believed in our sponsors firstly, right?
Yeah.
That was the first thing. Nama Poultry came on board and they stuck their hands deep into their pockets and they believed in the product. And that's the first people I'd like to say thank you to. But secondly, the kids. Goes for me about the kids. Our whole team is kids orientated. And what we saw today on all three different sports codes, that was phenomenal. Just the culmination of the whole Gravity Cup getting together. And the kids enjoying themselves. And I think the thing that really went down the best today was there was friendships made here today, and we saw talent come out, raw talent that came out and actually came onto a very high platform, because the Nama Poultry Gravity Cup is being rated as a very high platform and a very elite type of competition. And I'm telling you now, there's a lot of potential out there still that's going to come through here, especially through these rankings here.
So I have been preaching all day that this is where dreams come alive. We heard that there's a team going, actually three teams, if I'm not mistaken, going all the way to South Africa. And we trust in Namibian rugby because we've seen it live here. So of course, keep it locked. The Nama Poultry Gravity Cup is definitely one of the biggest events on school calendars, if not the biggest.
Can I tell you, let me just give you a bit of stats quickly. We started last year. We started with 13 schools with roughly over 400 kids in the tournament. This year we've had 33 schools. 34 schools, and we've had today on this pitch, on all three pitches, we had 883. That's part of the game, Aidens. We had 883 kids that was on this tournament, and we expect a bigger one next year if the sponsors are going to get on board, which I'm
most
sure
definitely. It will definitely be bigger and better. So without wasting any more time, we're going to conclude. It's been absolutely phenomenal, I'll tell you this, throughout all the weeks that have led up to the final events today, and I have definitely enjoyed myself. I hope you guys have enjoyed the live feed as well as all the action that we have been bringing you. But for this year, that is it from the Nama Poultry Gravity Cup. Keep it locked to find out the dates for next year.
We also had the basketball symposium was also a success this weekend. They held a symposium and it was the first ever held in Windhoek of its kind. Well, the Basketball Federation are very happy with what transpired there and will actually hope to make more of these events in the future. Well, in international news, while the English Premier League was postponed or suspended at this moment, the lower leagues actually enjoyed a couple of the limelight actually because they were in action over the weekend. Well, however, speaking of the EPL, it's quite a sad scenario there because we understand that there are talks to nullify the season, that Liverpool were already winning, but other people actually believe that Liverpool must be given this league title despite what happened. Alan Shearer sensationally also made a remark that Liverpool should not be given the Premier League, and I don't think Liverpool fans took that quite well. Within the local scene, actually, the Brave Warriors were scheduled to play friendly matches at the coast, but this did not take place after the head of state, the president of Namibia, Hage Geingob, called off for mass gatherings and said that this should not take place due to the coronavirus fears. So that did not take place actually for the Brave Warriors. And also local boxer Jeremiah Nakathila was slated to fight on the 28th of March, but this boxing event has been called off. Nesta Daubayas confirmed today that the fight will actually not continue, and they hope that they can actually arrange for a new date. Well, those that bought tickets can keep the tickets until a new date is set. Well, Nesta said that he has lost actually quite a few funds there, because obviously you know that he had paid for the traveling fees, sanctioning fees and all these. But as things stand, due to the coronavirus outbreak and the scares that it could spread more, that fight has been called off, and Nesta will actually just have to wait. We have things like the games in Tokyo. We know that the Olympics are set to take place in Tokyo, but with the coronavirus spreading this fast, there is actually so many doubts whether these things will take place as stated. We have our athletes that have already qualified to these events, but the fears are growing and the virus is spreading, meaning that there is actually the future of the Tokyo Olympics hangs in the balance at the moment. We don't know whether it is going to be postponed or it is just going to be cancelled. Well, it is indeed a very sad scenario. So yes, of course, Limba, would you please tell us about this situation, especially in the EPL with the log standings and everything?
Yeah, well, of course, with the situation with Liverpool, there's a lot of discussion going around as to whether they should be given the title or not. But I think morally it is right to give them the title, because looking at the performance that they have had throughout so far, I mean, they are leading the log with close to 25 points. I don't think anybody can catch up to that. So most probably, I don't know now what will happen with the teams that are at the bottom. Are they going to continue and say that there should be no relegation? Is there going to be relegation maybe in the situation of Namibia as well? But at the moment, I honestly think that Liverpool should be given the title. I really think that they deserve it.
Thank you so much, Limpa, for your analysis on that. Well, basically, this is the situation on the ground, and we probably face an uncertain future in terms of sporting events. It's quite a concern there. Well, there's so many events that have been suspended. Trump, the president of the United States, have actually also spoken about this. Limpa, what do you think of Trump's what he had to say about this? Yeah,
well, Trump, I think at the moment is also looking at the situation of all the other competitions that have been cancelled. You know, the Tokyo 2020 is fast approaching. I think his stance is that it should be delayed with a year. But then the Japan organizers are now on the other hand saying that they are not going to delay any of that, but they would rather try and create a secure environment for the athletes that are coming. At the moment, I also concur with them, because there is a lot of money, billions of money that has been invested into this competition. So postponing it, they are losing out a lot. But we need to look at the effects of the coronavirus at the moment, and I do personally think that we need to listen a little bit to Donald Trump at this moment in time with the Tokyo Games that are approaching.
Yeah, that's your take, Limba. We need to listen to Trump indeed. That's from Limba's mouth there. There has been a lot of postponements and suspension of events, and Cricket Namibia also faces the same scenario. They were supposed to play the Netherlands, and this has actually been postponed or actually cancelled. So Limba, what do you think is this, or what does it have to actually give or take away from Cricket Namibia?
Yeah, the games would have most probably been great preparation matches for Namibia going into the World Cup. But at the moment, the whole world is cancelling competitions. So I think they also had to join that spirit. The coronavirus is not only just affecting the cricket nation at large, but rather the football, the tennis, and whatsoever not. So obviously it takes a little bit away from the players who were looking for this competition, obviously to use it as a benchmark to enter, or like rather be scouted and so forth. But at the moment, there's nothing that one can do except to sit idle and wait for the pandemic to either come to a halt, or, you know, for it to be curbed some way or another. Thank
you so much, Limpa. Well, you heard it from Limpa there. this is it's quite a serious scenario, and it's quite worrying for the world, because at first this disease or virus, the pandemic, was just in China, and it has managed to actually take over almost the entire world. And it's quite actually a worrying scenario for Namibians as well, because we live in a compact society where a lot of people reside at the same places, and that's why it's quite a worrying situation for Namibia as well. Well, not forgetting that we do actually have some fixtures for next week or for this week that you can look forward to. We don't know whether they will also be postponed as the week goes ahead, but Limba, can you just show us what can we expect for this week?
Well, of course, there is a Liverpool-Everton match that is scheduled for today. There's doubt that will take place as well, of course, because of the coronavirus. There is also the FNB Varsity Cup with clubs Vets, UWC scheduled to play. I haven't received any news on those matches scheduled to take place. There is the Cricket Momentum One Day Cup also scheduled for tomorrow, the semi-final. There is no news as to whether that will take place as well as the ABSA Premiership. There is news that matches will not be taking place in the ABSA Premiership. There's a lot of cricket also to look forward to on Thursday as well. Sri Lanka versus England. News should also be coming in, most probably with those matches being cancelled as well. So if you want some detailed information, obviously rather just buy the Namibian Sun, the Replicane, as well as the ASAT, just to go through some of these fixtures.
Thank you so much, Limpa. Thank you. It is indeed what it is at the moment. You can't change it. It's what is happening. People have to accept reality and live with it. Well, for viewers out there, it's just for yourself to take care of yourself, use hand sanitizers, and actually just ensure that you are not at crowded places. Thank you for having joined us. Limpa, thank you for having joined us today as well. Enjoy your evening.